Hey yo, this is another episode of the Steven from the Old Time Podcast. Listen to my dad, he's awesome.
Welcome to a new episode of Stephen from the All Time Podcast. I am your host, the Ayatollah of Hip Hop, the whole damn show,
Hey,
the Rated R Podcaster, and one half of the Tag Team Champions Del Mundo with my co host tonight.
All right, everyone, it's the big cheese in the building, not the best, the greatest there is, the greatest there was, and the greatest there ever will be. What's up, everyone?
alrighty then. Of course, and you already know who it is. The other half of the podcast tag team champions, aka the showstopper, aka the Black Eric Bischoff. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's Trap. And I'm here again with my guys for another wonderful episode.
I love how calm you are when when you do your thing. By the way, did you see the shirt or did it fucking
Oh,
throw it
I
right
No,
on?
it
saw it.
showed.
No, it
Okay, good. I'm
showed.
happy.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous.
So I
Very
was
nice.
I was at my parents' house maybe about 3 weeks ago, and my dad keeps everything. And when I
Mhm.
mean everything, he keeps everything, and then he's in a bad mood that he keeps everything. So I said, I want to get all my games. Dad, go through the boxes, get me all my wrestling games. I want to hold them. I want to bring them home. I want to see what I had. Then he takes out the T-shirts
Mm.
after I got all my games, and I found the Rob Van Dam shirt, and I was like, holy shit, I had this shirt. Number one. Number two, why did I buy size large men's for it?
I don't know. We went through that era where we were just buying excessive baggy clothes. Like I went through my closet and I was like, why was I wearing the 38, 36 pair of jeans and the two extra large shirt? Like, what was I doing? It was nasty,
But
nasty
but
times.
I don't fit in a large now.
Right. That's my point. I don't fit in the double X now.
This shirt is from 2002.
What if
I
that was the only size that was left?
No, I
Yeah.
because all my other wrestling
Oh.
shirts are size large. I think my Stone Cold Steve Austin What T-shirt is an XL.
Mm.
So I have no idea.
I don't know. That's
Uh,
funny.
so boys, before we get into it, you guys are both doing well. Trap, you're good.
Uh, yeah, I'm doing well, man. Just upset, that you went to the Mickey Diamond show. I couldn't get a chance to get off to go, man. I wanted to see that
Championship
so
belt on the
bad. I
shoulder.
know, I know. That's why I got to get mine, man. I got to wear mine everywhere. I got to be like Eddie Kingston and just wear my belt everywhere.
All
Yeah.
three belts.
Yeah, all three belts. By the way, AEW is terrible.
Get out of here. I'm not. We're not. I'm.
It's it's terrible. I was watching it the other day. I was just like, you know what it is? The no selling just annoys the shit out of me. It's either they no sell or everything is just extreme. It's like, and then they storylines, they'll get a good storyline and then they don't finish it. And then the rest of the storylines it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't work. AEW is not a good product. I don't care how many good wrestlers they think they could get. It's so terrible watching that shit. Because I'm watching, I'm like, why is Sting just jumping off tables and going through tables every match? I'm like, he throughout his career, have we ever been known Sting to do that?
No.
Right. He goes to AEW now. Every match he's jumping off this, jumping off that. Like, that's not Sting. I don't know. It's just terrible. Well, maybe in TNA with Kurt Angle, but in the Dudley Boys, you're gonna get put through a table. But he comes to AEW and it's like he's too old to be doing that. I don't know. I just
Since
feel like they're trying to be ECW/WCW, and they need to pick which one they want to be. And
since when did you become an AEW hater?
when I was just watching it, more like I like the good wrestlers. Don't get me wrong; they have some good wrestlers, and they do have some quality matches there. But as I'm watching it more and more, I'm just like I can't get into it. The no selling gets me all the time. It's like you're just not going to sell nothing. It's like they don't get the art of wrestling there sometimes. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't like it.
You need to
I
get.
don't like it.
You'll get used to it, and I understand what you're talking about. The no
No, I
selling.
can't get used to that. I cannot get used
It's
to that. It's
You'll be
just
fine as it
every
goes
ma-
on.
and
These are
then every
young
match is
guys.
There's no disqualification. It's like lazy booking. Every match is
I
there's
love it.
no rules. There's no disqualification.
I love it. I
Ah,
love it.
every match, everybody. Then I was watching the fucking Sting and Young Bucks match. Then there's a part where it's like everybody just going to every corner, gathering glass and tables, but nothing's going on. I'm like, what's happening here?
You
I'm like,
want to
what
know
are we
why?
watching?
Do you want to
I
know
don't
why?
know.
It's because the
What?
people in the crowd, that's what they want to see.
I know. It's
So
the
they're doing it
casuals.
for those people.
They're
They're
doing it for the casuals. The
not only
real
that,
wrestling fans do not want to see it.
the real wrestling fans are getting the wrestling in
We
the
like,
ring. These guys are getting here. I just want to see shit fly, break, be thrown through tables, jump off ladders.
because you,
Just that there's those
yeah,
two. It's that
I get
balance that
it.
they're trying to give. And I get where you're coming from, but
I
you're gonna
can't.
get used to it. You need to
It's
watch it more.
horrible. I do watch it more. I'd rather watch NXT than AEW. Okay, NXT puts out better quality than AEW. I'm sorry. Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes, everyone. Come on, let's be for real. I get it. AEW signed all these guys. Okada, he's cool. But they don't know what to. I love Will Ospreay, but they need to come to the right company, man. They got to come to the
Get out of
WWE.
here. Stop with that shit. Stop hating. I
MJF
know
got
where
to
you're getting it. I don't want to hear you. Derek, how are you doing? I don't want to hear Chop with this MJF bullshit. Derek, how are you?
come.
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I disagree with Trap, but that's why we have these conversations. I think the wrestling in AEW is on a whole other level, but
Yeah,
he does make some good points on AEW in that regards. But just the pay-per-views themselves, just the quality of the
Mm-hmm.
pay-per-views that
well, the pay
AEW
per
put
views, yes,
together, there's no competition right now. Weekly, WWE is better,
yes,
but the
that's what
quality of
it
the
is.
pay-per-views in AEW is really hard to beat
I
right
give
now.
you that.
Like it's tough. It makes WWE seem like a bunch of amateurs sometimes, and that's
You know, I do
it's not
give
a
you
great
that
look.
much. The weekly shows horrible.
Yeah,
I can't watch the weekly shows. I try to watch horrible.
it is what it is. It's the good thing that we have both of them, so that way we
Right.
can dissect it, and they could also learn from each other and see what
Yeah.
one is doing well, and then the other one will counterbalance.
Right.
And now they're sort of getting mentioned as well. We have Michael Cole, mentioning Sting's retirement. We have
Right.
Canada Jazz. So it
I
seems
like
like
it.
Triple H might start maybe perhaps looking to work with other companies in a
I
certain way.
hope
It's not
so.
as hush hush as it was. So I think that's a good sign for the future.
If they do, I would love that. Because, like I said, it's the weekly shows. You're absolutely right about the pay per views. The pay per views have been outstanding,
Next
and those
level
are the
up.
matches you're supposed to put. But for their weekly shows, it's fucking terrible, bro. The booking is so bad. Storylines are no good. It's just no selling. Like they don't sell anything. You just no sell everything. I can't watch it.
Trap, me and you are gonna get on a AEW episode, and then we could go back and forth.
Okay,
You ready for that? Because I'm telling
I'm
you
ready
now.
for that.
It's
I'm ready
okay.
for that.
I know you like your boring Monday Night Raws, your
ready for.
boring SmackDowns, your
No,
Friday
no, no,
Night
no.
SmackDowns. It's okay. I
Raw's
get
been
it.
better than the SmackDowns recently. I give you that
I want to
because
tell
they've
you
had
one
more
thing
matches.
before we move on.
Yes,
Watch the women wrestling in AEW. It is
I do.
about a
I
hundred times
do.
better than the
No,
WWE
it's
wrestling.
not.
Yes, it is.
Who's better than
Yes, it
Io
is.
Sky and AEW?
You with the
Exactly.
Neo Sky. You
Exactly.
with the Neo Sky. I'm telling you,
Exactly. Who's better than Io
the
Sky? Rhea Ripley. Come on. Wait till Charlotte Flair comes back. Come on.
Charlotte Flair is.
Tiffany Stratton. Come
Come on.
on. The up and coming. What are you talking
I'm
about?
gonna before we get into it, I'm gonna leave you really watch the women wrestling in AEW
Okay.
for us to have a full blown conversation. Pause.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, sure. I'm
Derek's
with
just
it. Listen,
Derek's
I'm
just
with it.
there. He wants to
I'm
jump
with
in.
it.
Hey,
I'm
I'm
with
going to tune
it.
in for the podcast. I don't
I'm
care,
with it.
fellas. You can have all the conversations you want. I'm going to tune in. I'm all good.
Listen, I'm with it. Come on, Oscar. Come on. Look
So
at the names
boys,
I'm naming.
this by the way, Trap every episode with the same two, the Kabuki
I
Warriors.
love
It's
the Kabuki
okay.
Warriors.
Kabuki
I'm a
Warriors.
Kabuki maniac, yo.
There's gonna be a lot more arguments throughout the episode, guaranteed.
Yes.
But we're here for one reason. We said we were gonna do it. The lead up to WrestleMania. Now
The build up.
there's 10 matches that have been announced.
Your favorite match, Sami Zayn versus Gunther. Yeah,
We're gonna talk
boy.
about it.
I know you can't wait for that. You
the
love
ten
Sami Zayn.
the ten
Yeah.
the 10 matches before um but that are have been announced, and I'm sure there's gonna be maybe about five more. Let's say
I hope so.
15, 16.
Yeah.
It's on two
Let's do
nights,
20 matches, man.
10 matches per
Yeah,
evening.
10 matches per evening.
That's
Let's do
big.
it.
That's
Yeah,
long.
let's do it.
I would love it. The matches
Yeah,
just need
let's
to
do
mean
it.
something. There needs to
Yes,
be a
let's do
story
it.
behind it.
Of
Okay?
course.
So let's talk about the 10 matches that have been announced. They haven't been announced on which night except three of them.
Okay.
Okay? We'll get to the two main event matches at the end. But let's start with Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso as one of the matches mentioned. This
Mm,
is the third time in WrestleMania history that brothers will be facing each other off. We
right.
had WrestleMania 10, where it was Bret Hart versus Owen Hart, which is probably top 15, top 10 best wrestling matches of all time.
Yeah,
Owen Hart beating his terrible brother that I despise to this day.
terrible.
Um,
You hate him like he hates Goldberg,
ex- exactly.
which I don't get.
They were tag team champions in WCW. Don't forget that. I
Yeah,
sent you
I
the
remember
picture.
that. I know it. That's so crazy.
We had Jeff Hardy versus Matt Hardy at WrestleMania, and now we have Jimmy versus Jay. I think this match should be the opener to night
Night
one.
one, yes. Because I don't want to see two guys with the same skill set fight each other. I don't really think it's going to be that entertaining.
No,
That's just how I feel. So let them open the show and yeah, get it out the way with. And
this
no disrespect to them, I like Jimmy and Jake, but they have like the same similar skill set.
look. I'll be honest. I don't really think Jimmy is that good in the ring. You want to talk about not selling?
Oh
You want to talk
yeah.
about somebody that misses his moves.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
he is up there with being one right now, one of the worst in the ring performers. Derek, we've had these conversations in person about Jimmy. No?
Yeah.
We've had a lot of them, and I think they both suffer from having been a tag team for so long. I think they're always relying on each other. And whenever you're a tag team for so long, it's really hard to come on your own as a single star. And they gave that chance to Jay, and Jay ran with it and did really, really well. But Jimmy never really had that opportunity. And ever since Jay left the bloodline, Jimmy really hasn't had that opportunity. He's always just like kind of like there lurking in the shadows, almost like he's going to do something or he gets whooped on.
Right.
So I think it's also a matter of, you guys know how it is. Practice makes perfect. If you're not practicing as a single star, you'll never get better as a single star. It's as simple as that. It'll never happen. So I think it's pretty easy to say here that that match, yeah, should be an opener match. I think there's history there. I think the story perspective of that match is interesting. But other than that, from a wrestling perspective, are we going to be terribly surprised if Jay wins? I think not. I think it's pretty
No.
much written in the stars at this point. It's just where it goes from there. I kind of find it a little weird. Like I understand the storyline behind the match, but I almost feel like Jay and Drew have more of a story going on than
Hmm.
Jimmy and Jay. Um, so I think from that perspective, it's interesting that that's what it went for. I understand because they booked Drew for something else. But I almost felt like that would have been a better culmination of a storyline than Jimmy and Jay personally.
Yeah, absolutely. And I kind of feel like it's a forced match because they have nothing to do with both of them. Like they have no storyline for both of them, so they have to put them together. Because if you look, since they broke up in the first place when Jay supposedly left and he quit, it's been broken up. Maybe once a month, maybe once every 2 months, you see Jimmy interfering in a Jay match, or you see Jay on SmackDown. So it's kind of like, look, they don't have a feud right now. Cody Rhodes is trying to bring down the bloodline. Jimmy's all over the place. We have nothing to do with him. Jay is just stuck in limbo. Like, why didn't we make him go face Gunter at WrestleMania?
Solo
Like,
been losing every match since he beat John Cena.
right? So it's
He
like,
beat John Cena and Lois. Now he doesn't win anymore.
no,
Crazy.
does he even fight?
That's what I'm saying. After he beat John Cena, what happened?
So there's nothing to do with these guys. So they have no choice but to pin them together, and hopefully something happens and maybe they'll get back together, or something happens and they take down the bloodline. I have no idea. I just find it just very stale. But they have no choice but to do it. So it is what it is. We'll see where it goes. You said it best, Derek. We know that Jay's probably gonna win, right?
Yeah.
It's
And
obvious.
if he doesn't, Solo's gonna interfere in the match, and Jimmy's gonna win. No, so we'll see. Let's move on. If we have nothing else to say about this match, again, opener, get it over with.
Yeah,
Let's
get
see
it
what
over
happens.
with.
And I feel bad for Jay. I'll be honest. To bring it back, I do feel bad for Jay because Jay's been putting in a lot of that work. He was tag
Yeah.
champion. He was going. He was in stellar matches against Drew.
Yeah, he
Who else?
was.
Who else did he
Gunther.
fought? Gunter. He had good matches. Just he's pushed to the side. So it is what it is. I feel for him though. He should be in a bigger match.
But at the same time, it might be just a chance for Jay to re-show his worth in a big match on the biggest stage of them all, and it might be there might be a future for him depending on the performance that he puts up in that match specifically.
Mm-hmm.
We know how WWE is, especially with Triple H. They tend to run with the hot hand. If Jay steals the show on opening night and he's lights out, then he's going to force Triple H's hand to get him more involved. But if he just sort of like fades into the back, then that'll be
That's
it for
true.
him.
That's true. Next match announced. This is I don't know why they called it this, but a 6-pack ladder match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions. You need to qualify for this match. The match is announced. So far, we have the Judgment Day as they're the undisputed Tag Team Champions. Last night, we have a DIY. Can somebody tell me what that stands for?
He's do it yourself.
That's the name of the tag team.
No, not them, but that's what DIY stands for.
But that's the name of the tag team. It's DIY.
Yeah, right.
Hashtag DIY.
What their DIY stands for, I'm not too sure,
know.
but I understand what the general DIY stands
Yeah,
for.
Okay.
do it yourself, right?
Okay. Awesome truth. That I am super happy they are.
I love that.
Okay, Derek, you're nodding your head. Hold that thought. The New Day, which I don't like Xavier Woods without a mustache. It's very weird. He looks
weird.
He looks like he's about to go into a gay porn movie
or something. He looks like he was on.
He's been in one of those before, just not the gay kind.
That's true. That's true. And there's 2 other teams to be announced. All of these teams are from Raw. So far, I see nobody from SmackDown. Let's be honest with each other. The SmackDown tag teams, except those 2 big beasts that are part of what's his name's faction. I can't get his name.
Karen.
Yes.
Karen Cross. Yeah.
Because I really couldn't care less about the LWO and the other 2 guys that are dressed as fairies or something like that.
The other gay guy.
They're Pretty Deadly. Is it Pretty Deadly?
Yeah, they're gay, right?
Apparently that's the.
I think so.
I think so.
They look gay. So.
They're dressing
whatever.
So
yeah, they dressing.
But it's okay. It's okay.
They want to be gay. Sometimes you got to be gay. You know what I mean?
Derek, you shake your head.
Mm-hmm.
Please enlighten me on why when I said the awesome truth.
If you felt like the Jimmy and Jay match was just pushed together, at least there's a story behind that one. This tag team match is... When's the last time the Judgment Day has defended their title? When's the last time we saw a legitimate threat to the Judgment Day? And since when is like, okay, maybe you bring me back to 2010. Okay, maybe I see like Miz and Truth. Don't get me wrong. I have nothing against that team. Listen, it brings me back to when I used to watch WWE, but how is that relevant to what's going on now? And especially like we mentioned DIY before. DIY has been losing almost every single match weekly that they've been in. And all of a sudden they win and they beat the Creed brothers, which, if I'm not mistaken, about 2 months ago, they were steamrolling through everyone.
Yep.
Right.
What's going on? At that point, because of the layout of SmackDown, I'd say, you know what? I wouldn't even take a team from SmackDown, maybe the Karrion Kross, like you said. Just take the rest from NXT. I'd rather see those guys go up and try to get something and win something than see the same old I don't want to say they're washed up, but Gargano and Champa, they haven't really done anything in a while. They keep getting hurt. Now they're coming back as a team because their singles run is done. The New Day, arguably one of the best tag teams to ever do it. It's kind of feel like I just feel like we're being served the same old like reheated like microwave meal. That's all I feel like. I have no interest for this tag match whatsoever. It's I have more interest for the Jimmy and Jay match than I have for that tag match. That tag match to me, it does absolutely nothing. I would have dealt without it, or at least build a good story, build like a cross challenging the Judgment Day as being like absolute destroyers. Like this is our show now. But they introduce Karrion Kross's faction and then it disappears for 3 weeks. Like I feel like the WWE has like the attention span of like an 8-year-old in the sense of like it tries to do so many things at once and then it goes back to the one thing it knows how to do well, and that's how to manage one storyline with the same actors, and they know how to do that. But then every time it's like allocating 50% of your energy to something and then 10% to something else and so on. They're horrible at that. It's just 90% on one thing and then there's only 10% to go for the rest, and sadly it's the superstars that suffer. So that's pretty much my opinion on it.
It's a ladder match, though.
Okay, you have a ladder match with old guys.
True. Now, my question to you guys. You made a good point. Nobody could go up against the Judgment Day. They're just unbeatable right now, right? There's no tag team, first of all, that's better in the ring than them right now.
Right.
And there's nobody that is going to be able to beat them. There's nobody at that level. Maybe the Awesome Truth, because of R-Truth and the Miz on their star power and how they've started to climb the ladder again, and there's more of a shine on them and more of that light shining on them. But like the Judgment Day for the tag champions have been just running everything, right? And
absolutely,
like I just find that if you want to take the tag champions from them, make it an interesting tag team who could have a run like the Judgment Day, who are unbeatable like the Judgment Day. Do you guys, like, Trap, do you think that they will lose at Mania?
No, I don't think so. Because it's hard to figure out, because I'm trying to figure out what their direction is with their storyline and what Andretti is doing. It's like, are they going to, I feel like they're trying to kind of break them up because, he's still got the Money in the Bank contract. So it's like he's just walking around with that briefcase forever. But I don't feel like they're going to lose this one because I don't really see no tag teams beating them unless they get Jimmy and Jay back together and then they beat them. But I don't really see who you going to like. I don't. First of all, I got to see who the other two teams are, but I don't really see Awesome Truth really beating them. I don't really see the New Day beating them.
My
I don't know.
question is, why are they putting both belts on the line? Why can't you do one night where it's Raw Tag Team Champions and the other night the SmackDown ones? Because
I forgot they got both of them. Yeah.
What's the point of having both separated? Just make one tag team champion and bring another belt in the mix. You know what I mean? It's like at some point, it's always the same tag team that have both belts. First of all,
like you said, split it up. Have somebody from SmackDown be a tag team champion and have somebody. Yeah, why do they always have to have both? They shouldn't always have to have both. They should just, if you're going to have two, then split it up.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what I think is going to happen? Sorry, they're two different tag team are going to take each belt.
Each belt, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I can see that happen.
No? And then they both lose the belts, and then you have one tag team on SmackDown, one tag team on Raw. That's it.
And then Damian Priest cashes in his Money in the Bank at WrestleMania, and he pins Cody Rhodes. Yeah, right? Okay.
Absolutely
I can see. I know. Can you imagine? That'd be sick.
Derek, you want to add something on that point?
I think, like you said, to split those titles up makes sense, but the only way for them to split the titles while also still coming out on top, like Trap said, is if Priest cashes in, but it would have required also Finn Balor to get involved as a
Right.
single star in something, in anything.
Again, yeah, I
Like
love
getting him
Finn
involved
Balor.
in the United States, like getting him involved in anything. Finn Balor has been doing nothing, and in the ring, Finn Balor
It's
is
amazing.
is amazing. He's absolutely amazing, but he gets overshadowed in that group by Priest being the big thing and by Rhea Ripley just being Rhea Ripley, which
Yeah.
it's unfortunate for him because in the
He's a
ring,
star
Finn Balor
too.
can compete with the best of them. He's arguably one of the best wrestlers in the world if you let him wrestle, but that's not happening.
I agree.
Like had they lost, but then came out with two other belts, one being the World Heavyweight Championship and the other one being the United States title or the Intercontinental title, it wouldn't make sense. But I don't see them losing. And also, I just missed the time where the WWE focused a little more on their tag team division, and they haven't done that. And also, when you have a faction, last time I checked, your faction is supposed to dominate. They're supposed to interfere in matches. They're supposed to make everyone's life miserable. Remember what the Nexus did. Remember what all those great
NWO.
factions did. But it's not
NWO
happening.
was the king of that. Come in every match.
And also, can we please, if they're going to lose, can we please have Bobby Lashley's faction get involved?
Oh yes,
Please.
They're wasting
That's the other
Montez
tag.
Ford.
Those
Yes.
guys deserve a
They
shot. If anyone
deserve-
needs to win, it's
It's
them,
Montez
and they
them,
need to
yes.
be taken to the stratosphere because those
Yes.
guys are being
Are good.
wasted
That
and
could be-
destroyed.
That could be the other tag team.
Yes,
could make
they
it.
need to put Montez Ford in them in there. Yes, he
They're
can
good.
wrestle.
I
They're
like
really
them.
good.
And
Yeah, they're good.
also, I just thought of it. Butch and the other guy.
Okay.
They could do better than any of these.
I agree, but at the same time, now we just feel like they're getting pushed, and they just lost last week, so it's a
Good
little
call.
spicy. But get Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins involved, please,
Right.
please, please. Those guys are super talented, and they're just being put to the shelf. And I'm watching
It's
the
not
implosion
fair.
of a great tag team.
Yeah. Next match. We're gonna go with. I know you're excited, Chop. I know you're gonna talk more than
Whoa.
both of us on this one, but I know
Who?
LA Knight and AJ Styles, Mr. Excitement
Yeah.
there. Pause.
Let me talk to you. Listen, man. To be honest, I'm gonna tell you this match does nothing for me only because I feel like I like LA Styles and I like AJ's. I mean LA Styles. I like AJ Styles and I like LA Knight, but I feel like AJ Styles needs to be doing something else and LA Knight needs to be competing for a champion or United
LA
States
Knight.
champion or something. Yeah, they keep it's like I don't know what the booking
LA
is.
Knight. This was
I
him.
get it. They want to. Yeah, that was. I get it. AJ Styles came back. You want to put him with somebody? Put him with somebody. I don't know. You could have put him with Randy or I don't know something he's familiar with. Let LA Knight continue on the ascension. Let him compete for a championship or something. It's like Derek said. They keep going back to what they know. Why is Randy Orton competing for the United States champion? I get it, but he's been around for so long. Let LA Knight do it. You know what I mean? So I'm not really interested in really in this. I mean, they both. I feel like they're both good in the ring. It might be a good match, but I just didn't really. I didn't really care for it.
Derek.
I think I like both of the guys. I do think one is significantly a better wrestler than the other. I would like to see more build up rather than them just interfering in each other's matches. Like I want to see it on the mic. Like I want them to build a story. And I do think that both of those guys deserve more. I think LA Knight deserves a push. I think he got forgotten with the Cody story, with The Rock coming back and all that kind of jazz. He sort of got pushed to the side. And I think that's a mistake. If we've learned anything whatsoever from AEW is that guys who are good on the mic, guys who talk are giant draws.
And he has
we see
the
it
crowd.
With Kingston. We see it with Cody's a big draw. He's getting better on the mic. We see it with MJF, probably the best guy on the mic in the business right now. You need guys who could talk. And LA Knight had the entire WWE universe in the palm of his hands a few months ago.
LA Knight, yeah.
It was
The
insane.
crowd.
Yes.
It was insane.
The crowd went ballistic every time.
Every
It was for
time.
like 2 months. and then all of a sudden it was like, what? Like, I hate when WWE does this. They
Yes.
always do it with these guys. They put them to the next level, and then all of a sudden it's just like, where have they gone? Where are they? What are they doing with him?
Right.
They should have started from the bottom and worked his way up instead of starting him here and throwing him to the top. Now everybody's going to forget about him, and it's a career gone nowhere.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because both those guys I think are really good. And to be perfectly honest, I would have liked to see a fatal four-way for that United States Championship.
Oof.
Whether you throw in
Absolutely.
AJ Styles or LA Knight into that mix, that has potential to be the match of the weekend if you throw
Right.
all that talent in a ring.
Absolutely.
Logan Paul, say what you want about him. He's a great wrestler. He's really
Yeah.
good on the mic. Randy Orton, he's got nothing left to prove. We all know
Of
what he's
course.
capable of doing.
Right.
You put AJ Styles, who is one of the best to ever do it in the ring. Now you put LA Knight, who's one of the best talkers in the ring. All those other wrestlers are able to make LA Knight look phenomenal.
Right.
That's a wasted opportunity. It's an absolute wasted opportunity to push LA Knight to the stratosphere by making him win that
Yeah.
championship.
Yeah.
Listen, I
I
understand
said
why they
that.
booked it that way, but I would have booked it my way. And I think that a lot of people would have been like, you know what, we could get behind this. Let's tune into this match. This is not a
Yeah.
like skip-in match. It's not a, oh, let's go grab a snack match. It's,
Right.
we're sitting down, we're watching this. This one is going to be crazy.
Yeah. And since we're on the subject, the US Championship, we have Randy Orton, we have Logan Paul, the US champion who never defends it, and we have Kevin Owens.
Well, that's on brand for WWE champions who don't defend their belts.
Exactly. But to your point of having that fatal four-way, I don't mind this match having Kevin Owens. I don't mind it because I think they could do great things in the ring, all three of them together. And they've proved it one-on-one with each other. They've proved it in the Elimination Chamber. So this could be a highlight of the weekend. I think this is going to be one of the highlight matches of the weekend. And I think it's going to finish off with the belt changing hands and Logan Paul going away for a while, hopefully, and somebody starting a different feud and somebody else going for the championship. Because right now, if you see it, Logan Paul's feuds have been two of them. Rey Mysterio and Kevin Owens. Right? And now it turned into a Randy Orton, Kevin Owens. We need one of those two, and I think it's going to be Randy Orton to have the championship and start feuds where it's AJ Styles or LA Knight
Right.
or Kevin Owens against Randy Orton. More interesting feuds, more in the ring, interesting matches. Am I wrong?
No, you're not
No,
wrong.
you're not
You're
Because
not wrong.
because and what I'm gonna say is Logan Paul is okay. I'm not taking anything away from him in the ring, please.
Right.
He is uninteresting to watch on the mic. He says the same things all the time. He's promoting his dumb, stupid energy drink, whatever bullshit. Like he's just there. It's just like, yeah, you get views. People are tuning in. You're selling your drink. You're making money. You're making money for the WWE. I get it, but you are so uninteresting.
But that's what they're banking on. They want people like you that don't like him to tune in to watch him lose.
Right.
That's
But he's
what they
not
want.
losing. He's just being a nuisance to my
But
existence.
yes, but that's the whole point. You're going to keep tuning in until he loses, until you're done with him. So by having him win, every time you'll tune in, you're like, oh, this is the chance. This time he's going to lose. This time he's going to lose. And they keep getting you that way. And I think from that perspective, I think it's smart. He's good at being hated. He's the best at it. There's maybe Dominic Mysterio's
Him
better,
and Dominic. That's it.
but he's really good at being hated. And he's pushing the status quo. And I think right now he's a draw for WWE. And it just turns out that he could back it up in the ring. So that's good on him. And to your point, I think Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, I know it's going to be a great match. I would have just liked to see more players involved. I think there's
Yes.
a lot of other wrestlers in the business, Ricochet. Literally, his
Yeah.
name, his ring name is the one and only. And he's a phenomenal wrestler. And he's had a history with Logan Paul. Why not get him involved too? Why is he all of a sudden being pushed to the side? Bobby Lashley, what's going on with him?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there's a lot of these wrestlers that can use that showcase. What's going to happen with them? They're just going to not get booked. It's just a waste of talent at this point, especially when you have less qualified wrestlers than those guys fighting in matches. I think it's unfortunate. You have 2 nights. Let's get the talented wrestlers, the guys that you know are able to do it. Let's just get them somewhere. Get something, make up a story, and let's just run with it, right? Instead, they're just going to throw us another battle royale with everyone involved, and they're going to win a little statue.
DeAndre the Giant
Lazy.
Battle Royal. You don't like that?
Lazy
No.
bookings, as Jim Cornette would say. Lazy bookings, my friend. Lazy bookings.
Do you think the title is changing hands? Yes or no? Yes.
Yes.
Trap.
Yes, I believe Randy Orton is going to win it.
Kevin Owens.
Oh,
Oh,
I like that. I'm going with Orton. The next 2 matches, I'm gonna put them together because they've been announced for a while. Is your favorite Trap, Io Sky versus Bailey,
Oh, the
WWE
Empress of the
Women's
Sky.
Championship. Yeah, and Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch, Women's World Championship. I'm gonna tell it to you guys like this.
I love Bailey, man. She's so great.
These
You
two
gotta
matches,
understand.
need to be on separate evenings.
Yes, I
Okay.
agree. One needs to be on night one needs to be on night two. Don't put them on the same night.
When we're talking about you know the way I feel about the WWE Women's Division. Okay,
Right.
these 4 are gonna stand out. These
Of
2
course.
matches are gonna stand out, and I'm very excited to see both of these matches because I love all 4 of these in-ring performers. Okay, and the Bailey Io Sky, that's gonna be something to watch. And I think the belts are gonna change hand, and Bailey's gonna come out on top, and it's gonna be a huge spectacle around it. Okay, these 2 in the ring. Bailey, I don't know what her age is. Okay, but
34.
she's 34.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm flabbergasted that you know that. But she is gonna she's gonna do something amazing. This is high flyers. Io Sky is a high flyer. Am I
She's
wrong?
35. Yeah, Io Sky's 35 too.
Okay, they're gonna be able to do something incredible in the ring.
Of course.
Okay, off the top rope, all this jazz, what we like to see in wrestling matches. Okay,
Right.
this is gonna be a. I hate putting it in a different bracket, but it's gonna be like a Hardy Boys versus Edge and Christian style match. Those 2, and then we're gonna get to Rhea Ripley and Becky, and
And it's going to be a fight.
and that's gonna be a fight. That's gonna be like a Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Triple H main event style match. Okay,
Right.
and these 2 are 2 of the best in the women's division I've ever seen in the women's division's wrestling. Am I wrong? Because you guys
You're
shit
not
on me all the
wrong.
time when we talk about the women's matches. So you know what?
Because you never liked the women matches, and the women matches have been good lately. They've been the best ones.
Last time we recorded, I gave props. Okay, I told you I'm not too sold on it versus AEW. That's a different conversation for a
Yes.
different day. But these are athletes. These are performers in the women's division that stand out onto a
Yes.
different level. Rhea Ripley, to me, I said it, is number 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, number 1. And Becky Lynch in the ring is great. And these 2 together is that Stone Cold Steve Austin Triple H style match.
Can't wait to see that.
And I won't be. I'm gonna be right. No, nothing's gonna prove me wrong about these 2, and they need to be separated on both evenings.
Yes. No, you know what? I agree with you. One needs to be on night one. I also feel like they didn't really push the Bailey Io Sky storyline as much as they could have. I feel like for Bailey being a Rumble winner, they didn't really, talk about it that much, which I feel like I get it. You got a lot going on, but they need to talk about that more because Bailey is really a big deal to the company. Like, come on, during the pandemic, her and Drew McIntyre literally every week would come out and empty arenas and still put on a show.
Mm-hmm.
Like you gotta give your people who really hold you down, and really you gotta take care of them, because she was a tag team champion, world champion, SmackDown champion. Like Bailey does it all. She's also a good ring worker. She
Mm.
works with the new people, puts them over like nobody else. Like you just gotta give it to her. Like overall talent is Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we don't have to go too far in that cage match that Bailey was the one taking all of
Oh,
the
every
big bumps.
finish.
She was the one
Yes.
getting absolutely destroyed.
She got everyone's finisher. Yes.
Listen, that's someone that's willing to put body and soul on the line for the
Right.
company, and you got to reward her. Not taking anything away from Io Sky. I think
Of
she's a great
course.
talent, but it's Bailey's moment. And to
Her
Steven's
championship
point,
run was kind of dull anyway, Io Sky. It was dull. It was time to get, and I like Io Sky as a talent, but I just feel like her championship run wasn't. Give it to Bailey.
I just wish I'd seen more the same level of attention that's given to the whole Cody Rhodes, The Rock, Roman Reigns,
Right.
Rollins, McIntyre sort of feud, like the constant promos and letting him work on the mic. Let's just
Yeah.
get them working on the mic. I wish I'd see more
With Bailey.
from the women's division. I wish I'd
Yep.
see them more talk shit on the mic. Really, like, let's establish the good guys, the bad guys. Who do you want to root for? Who's coming at it from any perspective? But we're seeing that a little bit less. We're seeing, for some reason, and I know we'll get to it, but we're seeing a lot of Nia Jax, which
Yeah.
she's not
I was
booked
about
at
to say that.
WrestleMania, but she's fighting everyone as though she was booked for WrestleMania. So it's kind of
Right.
an odd sort of, why get her involved? Why just not have everyone on the mic and just start talking your shit?
Yeah.
So I think that's an interesting decision from the WWE. But to both your point, I think split those up. And I think, to be perfectly honest, the second to last match, don't put them in the beginning, don't put them in the middle.
Right.
Second to last, give them the big time, big draw, and then it's going to
Yeah.
make the final main event feel so much bigger. And listen, they've been stealing it. They've been the second to last match or the opening match for the last few pay-per-views, and they've been absolutely killing it and
Absolutely
making
killing it.
everything else pale in comparison afterwards. You can't make the mistake of putting a match in the beginning, because then you're going to lose everyone's interest for the rest until the main event. I don't think that's a smart decision to make. So I'm interested to see where it goes.
Yep.
Next
Right.
match, we're gonna get through this match super quickly. It's the WWE Intercontinental Championship match
Your favorite match, Steven's
Bef-
favorite match.
between the reigning champion
Say it. And your favorite wrestler, say it.
Gunther
No, say it.
versus
Yeah. Your favorite wrestler.
Sami
Say it.
Zayn,
Yeah, you said it. Sami Zayn. Yeah.
which I have no idea why Sami Zayn is going against Gunther at WrestleMania for the IC champion
He's gonna
when he's
lose.
done nothing for the last 3-4 months, has been just a whining, complaining little bitch, okay? Where we have Chad Gable, who I'm not a fan of, but could pull out a good match against Gunther. We
Why
have
you not?
Drada, who's coming back. We have, who else? Name me a bunch of other guys that we have that could go up against Gunther. But we're putting Sami
Braun
Zayn,
Breaker.
Braun Breaker. We can keep naming them that could pull off
Trick
a match.
Williams.
Fucking put Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania against him and make him beat Gunther. We could put Damian Priest against him, remove him from
Balor.
the ladder match.
Finn Balor.
Yes, I get that they're in a ladder match and they're the tag champions. Make something happen. Make them lose their titles before WrestleMania. Do something interesting. But you're putting somebody who's not interesting, who's stale, who just screams. Okay? He comes to
Sounds
the
a
ring.
little like you.
Yeah, but I have reason behind me screaming. He just screams. Dude, he dresses like pure shit. Clean up a bit, take a shower, clean your hair, cut your beard. You look like shit. You're unacceptable to be in a wrestling ring against such a class act like Gunther. Why are you in the same wrestling ring with a Seth Rollins, with a Cody Rhodes, with a... There's so many, like, there's nothing to do with him. There's nothing to him.
You
People
just
like
said it.
him.
You just said it.
I don't know why people like him.
There's nothing to. They got nothing to do with him. They got nothing to do with him. They got to book him. They got to keep him happy because, listen, I think at that point it's a matter of like counter picking in a certain way. I think the WWE realizes that they have to do something with him because if they don't do anything with him, they're gonna have to release him, and then he's gonna go to AEW. And guess what? You put a Sami Zayn in an AEW, being the technical wrestler that he is, and he's gonna go and he's gonna have stellar matches with everyone there. That's the reality of what that is. And they don't know what to do with him. They got to keep him happy. So they're just like, listen, let put him in a match at WrestleMania. It'll keep him happy for a while. That's what it feels like to me anyway. Seeing that booking, it just
Yeah.
we need to have Gunther defend something. Sami Zayn is one of our best workers. Let's just do it.
In the
He's not.
words of Jim Cornette again, lazy booking.
But he is not gonna win that match. He's not gonna
Oh, we
defeat
know.
Gunther.
We know. Everyone knows.
Hopefully, it's on night one, Derek, when you're at my house for the match for the.
Make that night one match number 2. Please get that out of here. Please. I don't want to. Please do not put it further in the end. Make that an early match. I'm sorry. And I like Gunther, but to you guys' point, Sami Zayn just doesn't give me any interest, like whatsoever.
It's either that or we have Gunther lose and then we set him up for the stratosphere. That's the only other thing I could see happening.
What they need to do, what they need to do, is he needs to go to the ring. Gunther comes out first. Sami Zayn comes out screaming, doing his dance, looking like total dog shit, coming to the ring, and Gunther beats him in about 30 seconds.
Absolutely beats the pulp out of him.
And then he goes away for a good couple of months because I think he needs it because there's something really wrong with him and it's not working out for him. Sorry to say that. The screaming, he was screaming in Gunther's face last night. I was just like, really? Like, can you talk? Can you have a bit of class? Like, I love that this came out. It made me feel so good. And then we're gonna move on. I just gotta get it off my chest. Booker T sat on a flight with Sami Zayn. And Booker T tweeted or he said something or on his podcast that Sami Zayn, after he won the match against what was it, a 6-way,
yeah,
that the fans weren't happy with him winning, and he said it shot him down. He wasn't happy. He was angry. Thought that the fans liked him. You know what, buddy? Do something with your character. Reinvent yourself. It's going nowhere. It's stale. We don't want to see that. We don't. Sorry, but we want to see a Chad Gable. We want to see a Braun Breaker. We want to see somebody that's exciting. We don't want to just see somebody that's just been like, this is him in the WWE. Fucking.
Is he like trying to be Mick Foley the way he dresses, and
It's
I
like,
don't get it.
do something, man.
Just bring back El Generico.
It's an off-brand
Exactly.
Mick Foley.
Exactly.
Bring back El Generico. Make him come in with a luchador mask and have him just be like the fun, interesting wrestler to watch. Just have him do that. Don't have him win. Don't have him talk. Just have him showcase his talent, and then you take him wherever you want to take him from there on out. But just like you said, just like yelling all the time, it gets old. It just gets old because right now it feels like everyone's yelling, and Sami Zayn has nothing to yell about. So
next match, because I'm bored of talking about somebody that makes no difference in the world of wrestling. Seth freaking Rollins, by the way, he had a phenomenal suit on yesterday, and I know there's a lot of hate with people on the way he's been dressing lately. Versus Drew McIntyre, Derek's favorite, for the World Heavyweight Championship. Boys, we've spoken about this for a while. This is a match I'm excited for. This is something I want to see.
Main event it, please.
No, they won't main event. It's gonna be. It's on night 2. It's on night 2.
Is it?
Yes, sir. It's on night 2. They have to because the match we're gonna talk about that we all know, the tag team match, the greatest tag team match of all time.
That's gonna be night 1.
Yeah, and night 2. Event. And night 2 is.
Yeah, I get it. All right, so before the main event.
most probably, or it might be the third last
Think,
match. I don't
okay,
know what they're gonna
I
do.
don't
It's very
know.
confusing. Uh,
So much star power. It can't main event all of them. I don't know.
I'm interested.
I'm
Eric, I'm
interested.
going to you first. Is Drew coming out as champion?
He has to
Yes.
come out as champion. He
Yeah,
has to come out as champion. Drew's contract is up for renegotiation in the next
he's
few months.
he signed.
Yeah, but he wouldn't have signed unless the WWE were planning on doing something with him, and that's fact. You're not a star. You're not a star like Drew McIntyre, only to be pushed as a mid carder. You can't. And the thing is that if Drew McIntyre loses this WrestleMania, he's not getting a shot anytime soon. Anytime soon, it's over for him. As a number one contender, it's over for him. There's nothing he's gonna do. What is he gonna do? You're gonna relegate Drew McIntyre to fighting for the Intercontinental Championship. Royal Rumble winner Brock Lesnar beating Drew McIntyre carried the company on his back during the pandemic.
Yeah.
No, he wanted to resign unless they were like, listen, we know what we're doing. There's no chance. There, honestly, and this might be like the heat of the moment talking, but if Drew loses, I don't see the point in tuning into WWE anymore.
Oh, that's a big statement right there.
Wow.
I don't see
Wow.
it. I don't see it. Listen, I have nothing against Seth Rollins. I like Seth Rollins. I do. But the problem with Seth Rollins is that every single feud that Seth Rollins has is the same feud as the last one. I feel like Seth Rollins also needs the loss to reinvent himself because I feel like his character is getting a little stale as well. I think they need to shake things up. And if the plan is for Cody to win, which Cody is a babyface, the other title should be held by a heel. And in this case, Drew is
McIntyre, and he's one of the top heels right now. Yeah,
and he's a heel without being a heel in a certain way. He's kind of like the Rock's Stone Cold in the sense of like they want to hate him, but a lot of the shit that he says, you're like, yeah, I could get behind that. Like he's willing to do anything to get his way. And I think that's a level of realness that a lot of the Seth Rollins and the Roman Reigns don't have. They're fictional characters, and you could tell that they're fictional sort of characters that they're playing for television. Drew McIntyre is the only one that, and Cody Rhodes are the only ones that feel like they're being themselves on the camera, and that's the character they're playing. They're not playing Seth freaking Rollins. Drew McIntyre is playing Drew McIntyre. He's not a fake version of him. He's him. Cody Rhodes, the same thing. And I think there's a realness and an authenticity to that. And I think they need to capitalize on that ASAP.
You know what? I want to see heel Seth. That's what I want to see. I want to see heel Seth. I want to see angry Seth. Not angry with the glasses on and the suits. I want to see heel Seth. I want to see, what was it? 2016?
Angry Seth causing Cody Rhodes the championship.
I don't know.
WWE really messed up that storyline with Sting when Sting was there for a few weeks. They messed that one. Yeah, no, Sting literally only had 3 matches there. Seth Rollins, the WrestleMania with Triple H.
Seth Rollins injured him, so
that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. I want to see heel Seth, where he runs in with the Money in the Bank, he beats you, and then he runs right up the ramp. That's the Seth I want to see.
I miss that Seth. Yeah.
Next match, of course we know it. It's the Roman Reigns, Cody Chestnut match. No, I'm kidding. Cody Rhodes match. By the way, I'm a Cody crybaby, but but that's a match. Like, there's nothing to dig deep into it. The real focus is gonna go to what happens on night 1. We'll get to it. Cody, Roman Reigns, main event. Undisputed champion. We've seen it before. The ending to this and to where the build brings it from now until WrestleMania that evening is going to really tell in which direction it's going to go. And I'm telling boys right now, prove me wrong. We'll talk about it when we record next. Roman Reigns is winning. There is no way
go in that direction.
There's no way the WWE is going to make Roman Reigns lose now?
I don't see it going that way. I see Cody winning it because of all this. Listen, he has the momentum right now. He's one of the most over superstars in all of the sport right now. Even people who don't even watch wrestling are like, "Oh, what is his story? Like, he got to finish his story." Like, that's a tagline that, like, they would be an idiot not to cash in on this moment. So, here's how I see it happen: they're gonna lose the tag team match. Then it's gonna be bloodline rules. Cody's gonna win, but he's gonna get help. That's how I see it. When it could be from the whole Raw roster. They probably going to form like the Avengers because you notice they keep building this. If you notice in certain promos, they keep saying little things like we must stop the bloodline. Like they keep trying to pitch you like the bloodline is this unstoppable force, and like they're kind of trying to put little bits in your head. Like they're dependent on Cody. Like we got to stop the bloodline, and I feel like this is the opportunity, and I feel like they're gonna do it here at WrestleMania.
Hmm.
That's how I feel. I feel like the way it keeps going, that's what it's building up to. They got to do it, and I feel like that's what they're gonna do because they always keep giving little clues. Like, yeah, we're so popular. Like Seth Rollins, everybody. Like, we know who the bloodline is. We got to stop the bloodline. So it's like, and they're getting everybody on Cody's side now. I'm telling you, it's gonna be like some Avengers Marvel thing. Like they're gonna have all these guys come up to help Cody, and he's gonna win this. I can't wait till they put him on when the guys lift him up on their shoulder when he wins the championship. I'm telling you, that might. I mean, as cheesy as it is, that's the WWE for you. They're cheesy like that, and they're gonna go with that momentum. So they might do that. I'm telling you,
It's not cheesy. I think
not really cheesy,
it's just
but
wrestling, and that's what they're gonna
right,
do. They did it for when was it Bret Hart when he won the belt at when he beat Yokozuna?
yeah, or one of them,
Whoever they put him up on the shoulders, everybody came to the
right,
ring. Everybody was super
yeah,
excited. So I see
so
that. You know what? You're not wrong. If he does win, which I don't think he's gonna win, they might do the same thing. Everybody to the ring, put him up on the shoulders, big hoorah, the end of the story. Where's it gonna go to next, etc., etc. Derek, you seem like you have no idea in which direction it's gonna go. I get it. I kind of felt the same way. I still am not 100% sure. I just yeah no.
I
It's
think I think Cody wins.
oh yeah.
I think Cody wins, and Priest cashes in.
Really?
We got to get that briefcase off of Priest. The second Money in the Bank is right around the corner. It's never happened that there's been two Money in the Bank briefcases. Like it's never happened. No one has ever
right.
held the Money in the Bank going into Money in the Bank. It's never happened.
Is Priest winning if he cashes in or no?
Yeah, I think Priest is going to win
Oh
because
fuck.
now you start setting up feuds for the long run if that's what you do. Because if Cody wins, it's over for the bloodline. The bloodline's done. Roman Reigns is going to take a break, and then where do you go with Cody? You're going to have Cody fight Seth, maybe, but I think Priest cashes in, really establishes like why he has the Money in the Bank, why he's been carrying it for so long. I think there's some shenanigans involved in some way, but Priest needs to get rid of that briefcase. Needs to happen because I don't see him having it for Money in the Bank. Um, and I think it's like I just said, it sets up a feud for the future. It sets up Priest and Cody for a little while at least. So like you robbed me of my moment, kind of like a little bit of a McIntyre thing going on. So we, I think it needs to happen. Doesn't mean that that's what I want to happen, but I think there's a very strong possibility that it happens.
Wow. I am shocked. I am shocked.
I'm shocked too.
Right?
I wasn't expecting that.
I okay. Now you just made me change my mind again. Um, can we move on? Because
Yeah.
it's very overwhelming to see. I don't
Well,
understand.
they've been promoting it overwhelmingly, so it's tough to sort of get your footing behind it. And we'll just put a little sidebar on that whole thing. If you guys watched Raw last night, the
Yeah,
Cody Rhodes promo was absolutely insane. It was
Sick.
fantastic.
Black suit.
It was so good. Night
Trap
one.
is back.
Trap is
Yes.
back.
Having
Night.
technical difficulties.
It's okay. We're allowed to have technical difficulties. Where were we at, Derek?
We just have the tag match left to address.
The greatest tag team match of all time.
Is it really?
Absolutely not. Is it the biggest tag team match of all time? Absolutely. Yes. Ratings
Yeah.
wise. I don't find it's the biggest for me.
Not ratings wise.
Not rating wise.
Interest wise.
Interest
Listen,
wise,
they've
yes.
been promoting the living crap out of that thing. Everyone's going on Logan Paul's podcast. Everyone's talking about it in
Yeah.
the news. It's getting people who are not into wrestling at all. They're just tuning in to see The Rock. The Rock's back in WWE. He's part of it. Heel Rock, the guy that we all knew growing up. Now
Yep.
you have like all the guys and the girls who grew up watching wrestling who stopped watching wrestling whenever The Rock left. Now all of a sudden they're like, what? Heel Rock's back? And now they're all going to tune in. And that's going to be the big bucks.
Insane.
The big bucks.
So, okay. You might be right. Look, I'm interested. I love it. Edge and Christian versus the Hardys. Maybe anyways, I'm just being a fucking asshole. Yes, I'm very
you're right.
excited for I'm very excited for that match. It's probably the biggest. Let's see what's gonna happen. I think the match, for how big it is, let's be honest with each other, boys. For how big it is and for how many people are freaking out about it, like you mentioned, Derek, do you really think it's gonna live up to its moment?
I think it depends. I think the thing is that you look at those four wrestlers, and I think that two of the best in the world are on the same team. I'm not taking anything away from what Roman can do in the ring. He's just not the technician that Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins are. And then we don't know what version of The Rock we're going to get. Are we going to get The Rock listen, The Rock's getting up there in age. He's in phenomenal shape. Listen, he's got those Mexican supplements dialed down to a T. He's looking good. But the thing is that I watched Cena's last match, and though Cena looks good, he's showing his age. That's what I'm afraid. He's going to be
I'm afraid of
with
too.
younger people. I think the match is going to be too slow.
Yep.
But it's all in, you guys know how it is. It's all in the anticipation. It's all in the buildup. Everyone's
agree
going
with
to tune
you.
in, and it's going to be what it is. Honestly, we're probably going to review that match, and I think that we should rate the matches individually in terms of notes. I think that match is probably going to be a 6 on 10.
I see that too. Because did you see when he had his last ring performance when he fucking spine busted what's his name? Jinder?
Yeah.
And then he did the people's elbow and then he got on the mic and he was all out there. I'm like, bruh, you showing your age, man.
Yeah.
Like you just gotta sit down, man. It's okay, bro. So like you said, I feel like the match is gonna be slow because they're gonna try to put The Rock over. Like he can't. I don't think he got it no more, dude. And it's okay. He has to look wise, but like being able to perform in the ring with these young dudes, I don't want him going out there looking like Hogan. Like
but
the
Hogan
risk
was
you
Which-
take.
terrible in the ring.
yeah,
Hogan
like
was
especially towards the end.
horrendous in the ring.
I don't want him moving like Hogan or stiff.
That's the danger.
can't-
That's the danger.
Yeah,
Whenever you
that's
have
the
guys that
danger.
are so good on the
Right.
mic. When John Cena is phenomenal on the mic. The problem is that when
Right.
you're so good on the mic and you don't deliver in the ring, you lose your magic. Sting, why does Sting look good in the ring? Because Sting on the mic, he's good on the mic,
Good.
but he's not great on the mic.
Right. It
So
doesn't
he's-
overshadow.
Exactly. The Rock's mouth talks a big game, and I don't think his body's going to be able to follow suit. That's nothing against him. I
Yep.
think he looks good for a man his age. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But in a ring, in a 20-minute match with the WWE's finest, it's not the same game.
It's not happening.
What about you, Steven?
There's too much build-up for it. Look, I really think that Roman Reigns and The Rock are gonna win. I really, really think that they're gonna win, and it's gonna really fuck things up for both Seth and Cody. Uh, but just having Seth and Cody together in a main event excites me. I don't know why. I got
Excites
back
you
in
how?
pause, but
All right, I'm about to say that. Yeah, excites me. Come on now.
I those two guys and how they grew in wrestling itself, being able to go against two powerhouses like The Rock and Roman Reigns, it's something great to see, especially for Cody. Like Cody in two main events back to back at WrestleMania. Night
Hmm.
one, night two. WrestleMania 40. Cody Rhodes in the main event.
That's
Two
why you guys
nights,
doing the championship.
but like the dude was Stardust. Okay? The
Oh,
dude was a
he
with
committed to Stardust too.
tag team with Ted DiBiase's son, Ted DiBiase. Okay? He
Horrible.
okay. The guy
Horrible.
had a different hair color. The guy left and created a new company. Okay? There's a
I
whole
know.
backstory to it. Good
WWE
for
went through
him.
some really there was some really dark times in WWE, bro. Like, and I see a lot of people now jumping back on the bandwagon. I'm like, yo, y'all wasn't there during the dark times, bro. Throwing dog food on Roman Reigns on SmackDown, tying him to the ring post and pouring dog food on him. What was that? Or Kevin Owens losing his fucking title to Goldberg in 3 seconds because after 20 years, Goldberg still doesn't know how to fucking give you a 6 minute match. So the whole entire match is Kevin Owens being distracted and running around, and then Goldberg spares him, jacks him. I hated the way Kevin Owens lost his title like that, and then don't get it, and then Goldberg loses it to Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. It's like, yo, that it was so really dark times in WWE. Like, it's
Cody
like I
stuck through those dark times.
yes,
Cody
went to
changed his
AEW. Yes,
okay, and he came back, and now he's on top. So you know what? Good for
right.
him.
Yeah, the
I'm
good for
excited
him.
to see it. I hope something goes well for him. You
Me
know,
too.
and we'll see where it goes. This is this is gonna be a really good WrestleMania. This is gonna be a
It
really good
is.
WrestleMania, and if you remove the storyline with Cody Rhodes and The Rock and Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, I don't think it would be as good. If it was The Rock versus Roman Reigns, I don't think it would have been as good. If it was
Yeah.
Cody versus Seth, they would have probably put on a phenomenal 10-star, 5-star, whatever you would David Meltzer style match, but it
Ugh.
wouldn't have been as interesting.
I hate the way David Meltzer fucking rates wrestling now. Yo, he shits on WWE, but he rates AEW so high or everything. Like some of the stuff he rates, I'd be like, yo, are you fucking kidding me? Oh man.
Question for you both before we get up out of here. Okay?
Yes.
One match that's not it's not confirmed or one match that is not said that it's going to be. What do you want to see? One match. Trap.
Oh man. But it's not confirmed. What do I want to see? I'm trying to think.
Good.
Come back to me because I need to think about that for a second.
Derek.
I want to see a. This is me going off really the deep end. I want to see Triple H, middle of night two, reintroducing the Cruiserweight Championship, and I want to see a fatal four-way for the Cruiserweight Championship.
Wow. There it is. There it is. I love that. Bring the cruiserweight back.
Now
I
you're
love
giving
that.
guys another chance. You're giving the smaller guys that they're never going to push them to the stratosphere with the bigger guys. You're giving the Ricochets, the Dom Mysterios. You're giving
Right.
all those guys a championship to go for, another reason to book, another way to do storylines. Bring back the Cruiserweight Championship. That's
You
what I
know
want to
what?
see.
Being that you said that, I'm gonna add something. It's kind of like yours, but for the women, bring another championship for the women. I would love to see them do that at WrestleMania because it's too much good, talented women on the roster to fight for those two belts. We can't have Becky Lynch. We know Becky Lynch is always going to be there. It's too much up and coming. They need another belt. They can't just have those two belts that Io Sky and Rhea Ripley have. Who has the Raw Women's Champion? Is it Io too? Is she has both? Or what? I don't know.
No,
That's
Io
another.
Io
It's
is the Raw.
SmackDown.
SmackDown, yeah.
Right.
Rhea
SmackDown,
Ripley
yes, sorry.
has the Raw.
So
Okay.
confusing.
Wait, she has the Raw or the women's heavyweight champion? I thought that was different.
I think it's the same thing now.
Same
Okay.
thing.
Oh,
That's what they
okay.
do. They gotta stop doing shit like that.
Well, they
Keeps
got to
them
stop doing that. Well, then they need to bring back the Raw Women's Champion and another mid card because it's too much fighting for those two belts.
Make more women's belts.
Right.
Plain and simple.
But I would like to see LA Knight compete for a championship.
If there's
That would
one
have been a good match.
I want to see is Andrade in a match. I don't care who he faces. Do something with him. Stop making him come on to Raw promos and just fucking have segments with
the Judgment Day.
the
He's gonna be on the Judgment Day.
He ain't joining the Judgment Day. Do something interesting.
He's gonna beat the Judgment Day. That's what they're gonna make him do. He's gonna break up the Judgment Day and form a heel team with Dominic Mysterio.
Terrible booking. Boys.
Terrible bookings.
Next time we see each other on the pod is gonna be for after WrestleMania.
Damn, that's a long time.
Yeah, it's a long time.
15 days, 16 days.
But hopefully I'll see you before that. Hopefully we talk about something.
Yeah.
We could talk about life. I don't care what it is. It's the all time pod, okay? It's really tough out here in these hip hop streets. Yo, the way music is, it's really hard to talk about music. It's like music is. That's another conversation we can have.
You need to get together and do an AEW versus WWE podcast, so I could school you on some AEW shit.
I like listen, AEW made my boy Cody, okay?
There you go.
But Vince McMahon came to his house and said, listen, we need you back, okay? Get away from there. And he made the good decision because they had him over there fucking having mixed tag teams with him and Jay Cargill and Shaq. What are we doing? I get it. Shaq just be doing anything, but why is Cody Rhodes and Shaq in the mixed tag team fighting? What is happening?
Stop hating on AEW.
Enough. No,
MJF, please come back.
AEW is terrible. Terrible bookings. Terrible bookings.
Crazy how you talk. Where's the mute button? Boys, thank you very much. I appreciate you both. Thank you for being on the pod as per the usual. I am your host, the Ayatollah of Hip Hop. I'm gonna take some time when I do this.
Yes, sir.
The whole damn show. The Rated R podcaster and one half of the tag team champions of the world. With my hosts, co-hosts.
That's right. Derek in the house once again. I'm not the best. I'm the greatest there is, the greatest there was, and the greatest there ever will be. And with the third person of this podcast.
Yes, it's Trap. Again, you already know who it is. The showstopper, the Black Eric Bischoff, one half of the podcast tag team champions of the world. Okay? And that's it. Thank you for coming out and listening to another wonderful episode. And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you.
Guns up.
Good night.